Hi, this is John Blancett with Fire and Ice Restaurant, and what's cooking local today is Copper Run's Buttered Rum Truffles. We're going to start this by actually melting some chocolate. Well, I'm going to get that already going. It's there when you want to start because the melting chocolate is going to take a little while. We've got both white chocolate and dark chocolate. We want to use a nice quality chocolate rather than the like almond bark. It'll taste much better. So once your chocolate is melting, then we're going to go into beginning to make the truffles. We're going to use vanilla wafers, and we're going to crush these up. I'm going to use the food processor here, which if you have one at home, great. If not, then just take the bag, crush it up a little bit, and then you can do this in your blender as well, although it'll take a little bit longer. They go right to the food processor. And we're just going to pulverize. Now, if your food processor is large enough, you can actually just continue to put the ingredients in here with it. I'm going to take it out and put it into the mixer because that's probably the situation that most people are going to be encountering. So our vanilla wafers have just been crushed into a powder. Okay, now we're going to turn the mixer on and we're going to start incorporating the other ingredients. We've got a half stick of butter that's been allowed to soften. One package of cream cheese. It's an 8-ounce package. This is raw sugar. It's unrefined. You can substitute in a light brown sugar. I really like this product. They basically crush fresh canes and then boil it down to make sure without removing anything. So it's all natural. Has a lot more flavor than a typical white sugar. So we've got a 1/4 cup of unrefined sugar. And then our spices. We're going to use a half teaspoon of cinnamon. A quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cloves. And then the Copper Run rum. The vanilla wafers work great with rum. When rum goes into a barrel, it pulls out a lot of vanilla flavors from the barrel. So vanilla and rum go very well together. Now we're going to go with 3 ounces of this rum. Copper Run is made locally in Walnut Shade, Missouri, so it's just about a half an hour away from us. It's craft distilled, so it's an excellent product to be using. Once you get a nice smooth consistency, we're going to take that out. And then this becomes the center for our truffles. Now I have a nice small baller that I can use. You can just use a teaspoon as well. I'm just going to pull those out and make nice little, about a 1/2 ounce round truffle balls here. Not too large. You want them to be able to be consumed in just one bite rather than having to bite it in half. So think about that when you're making them. They're also going to get a layer of chocolate on top, which makes them just a little bit larger as well. Now, once we have our truffle balls made, we're going to now dip them in chocolate. So I have my pre-melted chocolate, and I'm just going to use a fork. And I'm going to put half of them in the dark chocolate and half of them in the white chocolate. So again, we're doing half in the dark chocolate and the other half in white chocolate. All right, I want to show you a great trick to make these look great. It's very simple. Since we have two different chocolates, I'm going to pour a little bit into just a basic sandwich bag. Just clip the tip off to give yourself a small hole there. And then I can just drizzle the opposite color. So we can drizzle the white chocolate onto the dark and vice versa. Don't need any special pastry bag or anything that way. So now they're decorated. You can stick them in the refrigerator for about a half hour to set up the chocolate. If you're going to store them for a long time, it's best to leave them in the refrigerator. They can store for up to a week that way. You probably want to pull them out prior to service, let them warm back up to room temperature before you eat them. And that is your Copper Run Buttered Rum Truffles. I'm John Blansett with Fire and Ice Restaurant, and that's what's cooking local.